Yo, what's going on, everybody? You know what this is. This is me, Trayvon Jones, Conscious Talk Channel. Press that thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel, press that subscribe button for me. Thumbs up. And if you are on any websites or if you have any channels, do me a favor. Share this video. But I just wanted to just talk real quick. I wanted to tell a story. Now, this story is just my personal experience. This is just something that I've experienced, something that I've gone through, and I just wanted to share it. And I've always felt this way, growing up. I've always watched my father get up and go to work. I've always watched my father be a man and provide for his family. I've always watched my father care about everybody else. But I watched other people not really give a damn about him. I've witnessed this, and it's disheartening, really. Before my father passed away, I took care of him. I took care of my father at home. He didn't want to go to a convalescent hospital. I didn't want him to go to a convalescent hospital, so I took care of my father at home. There were family members that he wanted to see before he transitioned. And these were family members that my father was heavily involved in their lives as children. He took care of them. If it wasn't for him, their lives would have drastically been different than what they are now. And just to witness them not even be concerned about visiting my father before he passed away was disheartening to me, and it was just upsetting. It was really upsetting. My father, before he was an actual father to me, he was raising my older brother, who at the time when my father got with my mother was 2 years old. My brother's father never was around. He was never there for my brother. As a matter of fact, his family didn't even know that my brother existed for a long time. It just so happens that when my mother was going to her doctor's appointments, you have the clerk or someone who comes in and asks questions to get the insurance card and get all these type of things. And when my mother said the name of who the father was, the lady who was getting my mother's information was related to this man, my mother's baby's father. That was her brother. So she went home and she told her mom that, hey, your son is expecting a baby, because he didn't even say anything to his mother or to his sisters that my mother was pregnant with his child. He didn't even want to be bothered. He didn't want to even be concerned. My brother's grandmother kept in contact with my mother. And when my brother was born, that's how my brother even knew who his father's side of the family was, because of the grandmother. She wanted to know who my brother was. She wanted to know who her grandbaby was. But the father was not interested in telling them at all that my brother even existed. And I watched my father raise my brother. My brother was not an easy child to get along with, or to deal with, all through his adolescence, in and out of juvenile jail, just in and out of trouble. And even in his early adult years, he would, spend time in jail for stupid things, for frivolous things, nothing major, just dumb things. He would be in and out of jail. And my father was always there to pick him up and protect him and let him stay with him. My brother was in his 30s, damn near 40 years old, before he finally moved out of my father's house, and that was by force. My father just told him, look, man, you got to get the fuck up out of here. You know, you 37 years old and you haven't accomplished nothing. You're not doing nothing. And you feel some kind of way about me because my brother just kept saying negative things about my father. He had a hatred for my father. My brother had a hatred for my father because although my father was there for him and took care of him and everything that I did, anything that my father bought for me, he bought for my brother. If I went to Disneyland, my brother went to Disneyland. If I got a new bike, my brother got a new bike. This is the way it was. But my brother still felt some kind of way about my dad. And he was just saying all these negative things. And it got kind of dangerous where I'm like, you know what, motherfucker, you keep saying all this negative shit about my father, motherfucker. I'm getting real sick and tired of you saying negative shit about my dad. But yet your punk ass is living in his house, shitting on his toilet, using his washing machine and dryer, washing your fucked up raggedy ass clothes. You know, and it was agitating me and it was getting on my nerves. So I had to confront him. But my father got upset with me. Because I wanted to go the fuck off on my brother. Like, nigga, you gonna quit talking bad about my dad in his house. But my father loved him and didn't want me to cause any problems with my brother, although, you know, he was getting on my nerves. But my father heard him one day talking just reckless. So my father threw him out. It's like, nigga, you 37 years old and you haven't accomplished nothing. I asked my brother before he left, I said, you know, if your father came to you today and said, son, you know, I've been lousy. I know I haven't been a good father to you. But can we start off fresh? Can you forgive me for the things, for not being there for you? My brother said, yes, absolutely. I will forgive him immediately, you know, and I would want a relationship with my father. Now, I understand that. I understand it, but I don't understand it. I understand it because that's your pops, that's your lineage, that's your heritage, that's who you are. I get it as far as that's concerned, but this motherfucker ain't never gave a damn about you. Why would you want a relationship with him in my brain? But again, I have to be understanding about it. You know, because I had a parents, I had a mother and a father. So I couldn't understand, you know, not having a father, you know, I didn't understand that. Okay. But my brother said that. And that shit pissed me off. I couldn't understand why he said that to me. But I asked him, I said, well, brother, if my father comes to you, even though you have no reason to be upset with my dad at all, but if he says, okay, son, you know, let bygones be bygones. I know you're upset with me, but can we move on from this and start over? He flat out said no. I was done with my brother from that point on. I was done with him after that. After he did that, said that, it was a wrap. But I tell you about karma, you know, because my brother started out late getting his life together and finally in his 40s, you know, he's almost 50 years old, but he finally got a place and he's finally doing things for himself, you know, via government, you know, but he let his father live with him because his father's a bum and, you know, worthless. So he let his father move in with him, but his father just showed no appreciation, kind of like how my brother showed no appreciation to my father for all those years, taking care of him, letting him live with him, even as an adult. So you let your adult father move in with you and you just see how disrespectful he is and how not concerned he is about the help that you're giving him. He can take it or leave it and show no appreciation for the help that you give him. I said, that's what you have always done. So you're getting back what you've done. You're getting it back. But he's frustrated and talking about how he want to hurt his dad and all this and that. But the reality is you're getting back what you put out. That's what you're doing. You know? And it's hurtful because you have all this love for someone who never wanted to be around you, never even thought about you. But the one man who took care of you, your stepfather, you just stepped all over him and you just used him and you just abused him. You didn't even visit him. You didn't want to be around him. You just had this made up hatred for him. Now, I'm pretty sure that there are success stories. I've heard of some people who say, I have a stepdaughter and she's wonderful and this and all this and that. I hear those stories. I hear them. But just from what I've seen, it's just not a good thing to pick up the slack of someone else. Now, you got these Pookie and Ray Rays out here because you got a lot of the passport bros that's over here saying, we done with American women. We're not dealing with it no more. So you got a lot of passport bros over here, saying we're done. But then you got the Pookie and Ray Rays getting upset with the passport bros. Because first of all, they can't do what the passport bros do because 9 times out of 10, they got a criminal record, or they got so many damn kids that, they're all fucked up in the system. So they can't just get up and leave. So they hating on the men who can leave, But you have a lot of these Pookie and Ray Rays that are getting major upset with men that are saying, look, I know you benefit from me. You have the women who benefit from, simp ass men. But those Pookie and Ray Rays also benefit from simp ass men also, because who else is going to take care of their kids while they in and out of jail, while they impregnating all these women, bouncing around from this person, that not being responsible, not taking accountability, not doing what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to be the cleanup man. You're supposed to be the cleanup man to pick up the slack, to take care of these children. Now they didn't want to have your children. They might have one for you just to keep you around after the fact, but they need you to take care of Pookie and Ray Ray's kids. Well, a lot of the men today aren't doing that anymore. American men are just getting tired of that bullshit and saying, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm tired of it. And this is this is really upsetting not only a lot of women, but upsetting the Pookie and the Ray Rays too, because they need simp ass men to take care of their damn kids. And when I look at my father's life and I just see what he did, when he took in my cousins, when my aunt, my mom's sister was cracked out on drugs and just a straight up crackheaded hoe out there, just sleeping with everybody, cracked the fuck out, doing God knows what, making babies, don't even know who the father of the babies are, all that kind of shit. They were going to go to foster care. No one in the immediate family wanted to even help. My grandfather didn't even want to help. He said, I ain't doing nothing about it. If she want to lose her kids, let her. And my father just thought that shit was cruel. He said, we can't do that, man. You can't do that. You can't let them be separated like that. My father wasn't even the biological uncle of his nieces and nephews, my cousins. But my father took the initiative to make sure that they didn't get put up in foster care. And God knows what could have happened. They could have been separated, molested, hurt, killed, abused, God knows what. But my father stopped it by simply just doing the responsible thing. But when I look back on it now, as responsible as that was, there's no appreciation for it. There is no appreciation for it, because you think my aunt appreciates the fact that my father did those things for her children? She has resentment. She's hateful. And when it's thrown up in her face, she has an attitude and gets a problem with it. So honestly, fellas, just doing the right thing and trying to go above and beyond for people is good sometimes, but you can't do that all the time. You have to think about yourself. You have to put yourself first at all times. Because what I notice is that whenever you're putting other people first and trying to make sure everybody else has what they need, other people are pouring in, you're pouring into everybody else, making sure they have everything that they need. Well, who's pouring anything into you? While you're pouring into everybody else, who's making sure you're okay? Who's making sure you're all right? Who's making sure that you're being built up? See, you're strong enough to build yourself up. You're strong enough to handle your own business. But other people around you say, oh, he got it. He can handle it. not checking up on you, not trying to help you, not trying to make sure you're okay. You have to not only take care of yourself, but you're over here taking care of everybody else, and you have to stop doing that. You got to stop doing it. You got to stop doing it, because when are you going to have time to take care of yourself? When are you going to have time to think about you? Well, if you're too busy focusing on everybody else all the damn time, you're never going to have time for you, because guess what? Ain't nobody else thinking about you. So sometimes you got to be selfish. Now, I don't call it selfish, but the world will call it selfish. And people that depend on you and want to use you, that's what they're going to call you. They're going to call you selfish. And that's okay. See, when people do that, when you've poured into them and you've done things for them, and they want to, and then when the one time you don't want to do something for them or don't do it for them, and the first thing they want to do is call you selfish because of it, don't even respond to them. Block them and get the fuck away from them. Block them and keep on fucking moving. Don't even talk to them anymore. Just stop talking to them, because that's some foolishness. It's some straight up foolishness. You have to think about your damn self. Fuck everybody else sometimes. You know what I mean? And that's the reality. And that's just the conclusion that I've come to, because my father died early. My father died at 59 years old, y'all. He died early. I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Press that thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel. But my pops died early. Stress and my father making sure this bill is paid and making sure, while other people standing around just letting him do it, not helping him, not making sure that his mental health is okay, watching him work like a damn dog, and you ain't bringing no money in the house. If you are bringing money in the house, you being selfish with it and only paying your damn bills and doing what you got to do for you. But you letting this man take care of everything. I watched my father spend all this money on child support, taking care of my little sister, and my little sister don't even realize that my father spent a lot of money for her, but her mother was getting it. And her mother, and in her mind, my little sister's mind, her mother did everything for her. My father was barely there in her mind. My father was paying lots of money. My little sister's mother always had a damn brand new car, always lived in nice places on Section 8 and county, and, the government paid for it. We paid for every damn thing. But I watched my little sister's horrible mother live good, being on a county, and not only that, getting all this money in child support from my father. But my little sister don't even realize that my father did all these things for her. She don't even realize it. She thinks her mother was the one who did all these things for her. And it's disheartening. It's really disheartening, because her mother set it up that way. Not only did she make my little sister a hypochondriac, sick all the goddamn time and always sickly and sick. I just pray that my little sister's baby that she had, I hope she don't turn her into a hypochondriac and make her sickly and like her mother did her. I just pray that she doesn't do that to her, because that's just wrong on so many levels. It's just wrong to manipulate and use your child just so that you can gain access to welfare and things of that nature. So you need your child to be a little sick just so you can get certain things. That's crazy. That is totally crazy to me. And I watched my father die early because of just being beat down by family, people that are supposed to be supportive and supposed to be helping him and taking care of him and being his helpmeet and just, supportive. No, they just letting him do it all on his own and constantly taking advantage of my father. But he let them do it. He let them do it. And I got a problem with that. And I refuse to allow some woman to come into my life with children. And I promise you, if I ever even bump my head to take care of some other man's seed, and that child come to me and tell me, well, you ain't my daddy, I might be in jail, y'all. I'm just gonna keep it real, because I will bust that child upside their damn head. I will hurt them, and I know I would, because it's the mother's job to make sure that that child is being respectful to you. It's her job to check that child each time he gets out of line and say, no, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't getting ready to jeopardize my situation and your situation. This man is taking care of not only me, but you, motherfucker. You better calm down. But see, women ain't gonna do that. This ain't his child. That's my child. See, that's the wrong attitude. That is the wrong attitude. When a man is kind enough to take care of your lousy ass children, I'm not saying that he should be abusive. You don't let no man abuse your children. Of course, you're going to watch and be observant, but if he can buy them some shoes, he can tell them to go in their room and turn that damn TV off and sit there. You're on punishment for a while. Because I said so. You can go tell your mama when she come home, but that's all right. I'm going to go tell her too. But you better stay your ass in that room, and you bet not come out until I tell you to, till I tell you to. But no, you got mothers over here. Nah, that's my child. And no way. And then you have a man coming in. Now his ass is letting you take care of his child. Because really, a real man, in my opinion, should be going to go get his child, fighting for his child. I wouldn't want my child being in some other man's house. Two men can't raise no child. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy to me. You a real man. You ain't gonna let no another motherfucking man take care of your child, especially if it's a boy or a girl. I wouldn't give a damn. Boy, girl, whatever. That's my child. If we're separated, my child should be over at my house. That's the way I see it. Not with the mother, and she got another man living with her. Hell no. To me, that's insane. That's insane. No other man should be the father of your child. Sorry. Now, it's a woman's nature, you know what I mean? When women are supposed to be nurturers, so it makes sense for a woman to come in and take care of children. That makes sense to me. But a man coming in playing stepdaddy and all that, to me, it is special circumstances that require that. Now, if women were the way that they should be and knew how to actually treat a man, if your husband died in the war, or he was killed, he died, he got sick, you know what I'm saying? Or he left you for another one, whatever the situation is. If it was something similar to that, and another man comes in to help you, but you're a good woman and you know how to take care of a man and you taking care of him, I don't see no problem in that. If you come in taking care of the children, taking care of her, but she's taking care of you, she's taking care of the kids, she's, absolutely. But with the mentality a lot of the women have today, that ain't your child, this blah, 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 blah. But want you to still provide and protect and do everything. And she ain't going to allow you, or she going to have a serious problem with you taking care of your child, but not hers, other children. And y'all all together. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work out. But that's why I wouldn't put myself in that situation, because I'm going to be real with you. I would flat out have a conversation. Listen, don't expect me to pick your child up from school. Don't expect for me to drop them off. I'll be nice to them. You know what I'm saying? We can laugh, talk. If I buy groceries, yeah, they can eat. They're using my damn lights. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't buying them no clothes. That's what they daddy's for. That's what you are for. I ain't picking them up from school. I ain't doing none of that. A woman would have a serious problem with that if you were to say some shit like that to her. And for me, I feel like that's utterly right, in my mind, but ain't no woman gonna sit up there and put up with you, saying some shit like that to her, and I kind of understand it. But because I've seen what I've seen, that will be my rule. But then again, my rule wouldn't be to get with no woman that has children in the first place. I wouldn't do it. Because it's not worth it, in my opinion. Unless she's a good woman who's actually taking care of the man as well as the man taking care of her. And I can see it then if it's beneficial. But a lot of times it ain't even beneficial. With TikTok and you seeing all these dysfunctional ass relationships, You know, I can't think of the family, the McClintons or some shit like that, where you got this one woman, black woman, she over here just talking crazy to the stepdaddy. You know, got the kids talking crazy to the stepdaddy, and you know, and I'm like, yo, that that shit is crazy to me. When children ain't got no business being involved in those type of conversations, those type of situations, you shouldn't even be involving those children in these type of situations, especially when you're having problems. You know, y'all man and wife or boy, whatever, but you got the stepkids over here intervening, talking about, well, you saw what happened and you just, that shit is crazy to me. We shouldn't even be doing no shit like that. And then you got Umar Johnson over here talking about how the black woman don't owe the black man nothing. We should just be being stepfathers, taking care of these children just because we need to be doing it. If that motherfucker don't sit his ass down somewhere with that bullshit, talking about that we need to be stepdaddies, see, those days are over with because of the way society is set up now in America, how men are just constantly dogged out with the child support, with, you get married to one of these women and they take everything you got. You know, you might lose your driver's license. You know what I mean? You might end up in jail. We realize it's just not worth it anymore. We get that it's just simply not worth it anymore. Why would any man want to get married in America? Why? Because she ain't got to like you. And within 5 to 6 years, she can divorce your ass and take practically all your shit and get the children. And then you got to pay child support for the children too. It's just a raw deal. It's just a bad deal. And men are just tired of it. You know, but you got to be shamed by the Pookie and Ray Ray. Somebody, y'all need to step y'all game up. It's just too bad if y'all don't know how, y'all ain't got no game to be able to deal with these women. Don't want to have, when only in America, you have to have game to talk to a woman. You know, you should just be able to just start a conversation and just talk to a female. It shouldn't be no game involved. You mean to tell me I gotta run game on you just to get your attention? Yeah, that's a little too much. But shout out to the stepfathers, those who, have good stepchildren, because it's not all bad, I guess. But shout out to the stepfathers who, have good stepchildren and they're taking care of their families. Shout out to them. But honestly, brothers, especially if you're young, don't set yourself up like that. Don't get in a relationship with a female and she got a kid or children. Don't do that to yourself. Don't rob yourself of that. Don't do it. I'm gonna get up out of here. Press that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Thumbs up the video. And I'll see you all on the next video. Peace out.